Another country often eclipsed by its larger neighbors is Georgia, despite turning in some stats that almost any country would be proud of. The economy has grown more than 9% annually for the past 2 years. Foreign direct investment doubled last year, and growth is expected to increase by at least 12% this year. The country has not been without its share of troubles, but it is taking serious steps to stamp out corruption and conflict.
The Georgian capital, Tbilisi, is a city with new roads, new infrastructure, and a vibrancy you can feel in its cafes and businesses. That optimism is attributed, at least in part, to drastic political and economic reform.
Our principal policy has been, to get government's involvement in the business as less as possible, and we have been successful in reforming our economy.
President Mikhail Saakashvili took power in elections held after the Rose Revolution of November 2003, overturning a regime that was widely viewed as corrupt and incompetent. And for the new leaders, corruption was the first target on the hit list.
Combating corruption and tackling corruption, eradicating the widespread corruption, the systematic corruption that existed in Georgia is, I think, the most important achievement, because everything derives from that.
The effort has worked. In 2006, the World Bank rated the country as the world's top anti-corruption performer. The economic reforms have included the simplification and lowering of tax, business-friendly labor laws, and the elimination of most tariffs. Investment in infrastructure has been another priority. New major roads are being built, and in just 2 years the country shifted from 15 to 98% electricity penetration. One sector that has enjoyed one of the highest growth rates is banking. The Bank of Georgia was the first Georgian business to list in London.
We're very bullish on the economy. We think it has the capacity to continue expanding in very high single digits, occasionally touching double-digit growth for the next 3, 4, maybe even 5 years.
Continued political reform, business-friendly policies, investment in infrastructure, and the drive against corruption. It all adds up to an environment for continued Georgian economic growth. One main challenge that the government faces to make all of this sustainable is settling 2 internal disputes. That remains a top priority for the government. South Ossetia is one breakaway region. Located in a valley just north of Tbilisi, the area has been a source of conflict since 1990, when between 2,000 and 4,000 people died in fighting. The situation now reflects a tense but peaceful standoff. Ossetian, Georgian, and ethnically mixed villages just down the road from each other are separated by often impenetrable checkpoints, manned by Georgian, Russian, and Ossetian soldiers. The Russian influence in the republic's capital, Tskhinvali, is omnipresent. Dmitry Senakoyev, a former combatant and defense minister of South Ossetia, was elected as an alternative leader in a multi-ethnic vote in November. In an unprecedented event, he addressed the Georgian parliament in May to express his hope for a peaceful settlement and the emergence of an autonomous and prosperous region within Georgia.
Our movement today is in this context, to do everything in our power to solve all of these contentious issues by means of dialogue, by peaceful means.
Stability in the region and its reintegration into the country is an essential element for the continuation of Georgia's economic progress. And the success of the rest of the country could help end the standoff, according to Swedish Foreign Minister Carl Bildt, whose experience in post-conflict zones includes time as the EU High Representative in Bosnia.
I think they are gradually, or there are the preconditions anyhow, for them gradually moving in another direction, seeing that the confrontation doesn't work and being attracted by primarily the economic development that they see around them in Georgia. That, I think, is going to, over time, be the thing that turns that particular conflict around.
The challenge remains for the government to maintain the right conditions that will allow its people to feel the long-term benefits of that growth.